Thousands of students across the country skipped school today, pleading for the government to do something, anything, to tackle climate change.
It's our generation which is going to suffer, and the generation after us if we don't do anything about it.
Us kids need to lead on climate change because the adults are failing.
This is our future at stake.
From Sydney to Perth, school kids united, demanding action and defying the government.
We are students here at Top. We want solo, we want more.
The best thing you learn about going for a protest is how to join the dole queue, because that's what your future life will look like.
What we want is more learning in schools and less activism in schools.
The comments are insane. The fact that he said we need less activism in our schools and more education, whereas activism is a form of education. We're learning.
And can you blame these kids for taking a stand?
We've seen Labor, we've seen the Liberals, we've seen a whole bunch of different parties in power. But nothing has really been done that's actually having an impact on the climate change that we're seeing right now.
2018 is on track to become the fourth hottest year on record. The only years hotter, 2015, 2016 and 2017. At this rate, someone born today may end up living on a planet that is 5 degrees warmer. These are more than just numbers. Warming oceans are bleaching coral reefs. Seas are rising. The polar ice caps melting more in the last 20 years than in the last 10,000. Devastating fires in California and Queensland are a stark warning of things to come. All in the same week, energy company Adani announced its massive Queensland coal mine will go ahead.
We know by 2030 there's going to be increased problems with species extinction, one leading to another. The honeybees may already be gone by then, which means we have a problem for our food production because they pollinate our food. And even places that grow coffee and cocoa for chocolate will be shrinking because of climate change.
Stop! Adani! Stop! Adani!
So is this the world our children deserve to inherit?
We're going to keep striking. We're going to keep taking action. We're going to have more movements and campaigns until something changes.
14-year-old Jean Hinchliffe helped organise today's protest in Sydney, and she joins us now. Jean, a massive turnout across the country today. How does that make you feel?
Oh, so ecstatic. It's amazing seeing all these students who are getting up and motivated and doing stuff. I was just beyond words today at the strike. It was amazing.
So, Jean, tell us why you decided to do this.
Well, I see climate change as such an important issue, as do most young people. So I felt almost as if it was my responsibility when I heard about it, because I see our politicians doing nothing, and I feel like I need to take action and I need to help make change.
Jean, when I was 14, I was literally doing nothing except sitting down and looking forward to eating sausage rolls at recess, and you're changing the world. Do you realise how extraordinary you are?
I don't know. I feel like most kids my age would have the capability of doing this. It's just I've been given opportunities and I sort of grab at them, so I do them. Yeah, and you see the amount of kids showing up today who are all really enthusiastic and excited, so I don't know. I feel like I don't think I'm that special, no.
Well, we do think you're pretty special, Jean. It wasn't just the Prime Minister that criticised you guys. It was also a senior minister in the government, Matt Canavan,
yes,
the Resources Minister. I want to just play you the audio of what he had to say.
The best thing you learn about going for a protest is how to join the dole queue, because that's what your future life will look like.
How do you respond to the minister?
That is insane. The process we're at, the activism, we're learning so much from it. I know, talking with kids, the reason we're there is because we're educated. We know about science, and we're not going to just sit around waiting for change. And honestly, the Liberal government hopefully will be voted out soon, so he should be the one waiting in line then.
I'm interested to know what you think about whose responsibility climate change is, because without generalising too much, it tends to be older generations that vote against progressive climate change policies. Do you think it's actually your generation that's going to have to deal with this problem?
Oh, absolutely. Climate change and its impacts are just more and more into the future, and that older generation that are in power right now, they're not going to live to see the impacts. And I hate seeing them be in power and voting down things, because it's like they don't even care about our futures. Yeah, I think it's absolutely insane.
So, Jean, it's one thing to protest, but it's another to complain. What do you actually want out of this? What do you want to achieve, and what do you want the government to do?
So we have 3 main goals. Number 1 is to stop Adani. Number 2 is no more new sources of fossil fuels. And number 3 is to convert Australia to full renewable energy by 2030. And all of these goals are completely achievable.
Now, Jean, I know the pollies have, slung a bit of crap your way, but I feel as a comedian I've got to give you kudos because some of the signs that you guys put up today are pretty impressive. They're going to come up on the screen now.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, they were hilarious.
One says, I've seen smarter cabinets at IKEA.
Oh, I saw that one.
Good.
That was one of my favourites.
One
yeah.
says, R.I.P. Earth, gonna miss you, boo. Kiss, cuddle, kiss. And the third one here is, why should we go to school if you won't listen to the educated? So you saw all those signs. Which was your favourite?
I think my favourite of all of them was a kid who was dressed up in an inflatable dinosaur suit with a big sign saying, "Stop burning my ancestors."
Yes, that's great.
Wow, you got Dorothy the dinosaur on board. That is amazing. That's really good.
Yeah.
Jean, we're so proud of you. Thank you so much for speaking to us tonight.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
I think regardless of what you think of the issue, regardless of what your politics are, I just think the way all of these kids today at this protest are talking about the issue it stands in such stark contrast to the way our politicians talk.
To me, it just highlights how out of touch they are.
Yeah.